Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to follow along on my 31 days of Halloween makeup looks. Today's look we're going for is a glam sugar skull, or the Day of the Dead skull. So let's get into it. So we started off today with a Wet n Wild primer. This one is the Dewy Luminix one to give us a natural glow under our foundation. And then we're going to go in with the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in the color Fiji, like I've been using the last couple of videos. This is my all-time favorite foundation. Just make sure you go ahead and blend that in all the crevices, down the neck, all of that. Once that is all blended in, we're going to go in with the Airspun translucent powder. We're going to dab that into the skin and then slowly wipe it away. We want a more dewy look and more natural look today, so it doesn't really have to be baked on like a few of my other videos. We are going to be doing our eyebrow as well with the glue and the powder, so just keep that in handy. And then we're going to go in with the Too Faced chocolate bronzer. Using our angled brush, we're going to be working that from the apples of our cheeks all the way up to our hairline, and that way it gives it more of a natural glow contour look rather than I just slapped contour on just my under cheek area. And then we're actually going to work that all the way up to our forehead and blend it out real good. I personally do the blend all the way into my hairline. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. That's just my personal preference. And then I do it all the way down to the bottoms of my cheeks as well. Get the nose real good. We are going to be doing some paint on the nose, but I like to do the sides to give it that contour effect. Then we're going to go in with the Anastasia Cream Contour in Havana. I start using my beauty blender to kind of, spread it out, blend it out, but then I end up switching to a disposable sponge because it's a little bit smaller. So we did that, and then we put some more of the Too Faced chocolate bronzer on top of it to give it more of a sunken look. Blend it out real good. Then we're going to be going in with the BH Cosmetics blushes again, doing the apples of our cheeks, our forehead, and the nose and chin area. That gives us a natural glow as well, mixed with the contour that we have. So after that, I'm going to just spoolie one of my eyebrows. That way we can glue it down real fast. We're going to spoolie it again after putting the glue on. Like I said in my previous video, I do use the purple Elmer's glue stick. It's easy to work with, so lay that down, spoolie them out to where they're completely flat to your face, and then we're going to go in with the Anastasia Glow Kit, the sun dipped one this time, not the sugar one, and use Moonstone. And we're going to focus on that one side that we didn't glue our eyebrow down and kind of just do the overall all the way up to the eyebrow bone highlight and then back down to the apples of our cheeks, and do a little bit on the other side as well. Now we're going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill palette. The first color I'm using is the creamsicle one. I am blending it out just a little bit above my natural crease, because then we're going to go in with the color in Hunt and do the natural crease, as you can see me doing right now. Just make sure we blend all those colors together real well. That way we get a finished look, not a half finished look. And then we're going to be going in with Roxanne in the outer corner only, because we are going to be doing a half cut crease. We want to make sure that the outer corners are blended very well before we start dragging it under the eye, as well as bringing it in towards the middle of the eye. We didn't go as high up to the eyebrow bone as we did in yesterday's video. We are going to be doing it a little bit more natural today. So now we're going in with the Fiji Sheer Glow Foundation on a concealer brush, a very small concealer brush, and doing the cut crease. How I like to do the cut crease is pretty simple. You just kind of go where your natural crease is and just drag the brush down after applying instead of trying to draw a line. So then we go in, we kind of do the foundation all over where we want the cut crease, and then we're going to go in with the color Beam from the Jaclyn Hill palette and give it a nice glow finish. Then we're going to be taking the same brush that we used in the last color for Roxanne and kind of give it more of a blended look in between the cut crease and the outer corner. After that, we're going to go in with our NYX eyebrow pencil. This is the micro brow pencil in the color Ash Brown by them. I wanted it to be more natural, so we did an eyebrow pencil instead of the pomade. We are going to be dragging the outer corner down as well as we did in the last couple of videos, just to give it more of a open look, not necessarily a short eyebrow look. And then we're going to go in with the NYX Super Skinny marker in the color Carbon Black. We are going to do just a tiny little wing. We don't want it to be too dramatic. Like I said, we're going for more of a natural eye, even though we're using more autumn colors. We're going to bring it into the middle of our eye and then extend it out just a little bit. After that, look at yourself, make sure you look cute. And then we did already glue down that one eyebrow, and we're going to be doing the air spun powder just to mattify it a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and take a Wet n Wild kohl crayon pencil in the color white. We are going to be using that to highlight the brow bone, and then we're going to use it to trace out the spiderweb that we're going to be doing on our chin. If you don't know how to draw a spiderweb, it's okay. It's just the 5 lines, 1 in the middle, 4 spreading out, and then you're going to be doing little tiny U's in between to connect the lines. After that, I did end up tracing like a little line that I wanted to do on my face in the white pencil, but I didn't put it on the video because I'm actually going to change it up afterwards. So then we're going to be using the black in the Makeup Forever 12 Flash color paint palette, and then we're gonna draw the black lines on our cheekbones. That way we have that more sunken look as like a skull rather than just a normal glam look, and you can drag that down as far as you want. I extended a little bit in the hairline, and then we're gonna clean up any messes that we've done. I did not go in with the white or the nude today to trace any of these lines because this is a look that you can customize yourself. Wherever you want the lines, wherever you want the stitches, anything like that, you can easily do yourself and figure out where you want it on your face. I personally have a little big of a forehead, so I did 2 lines on my forehead. You don't have to do that. You can do 1, you can do 3, you can do none. It's totally up to you. This is more of a create your own look rather than a you have to do it this way look. So I want to do this as day 3, that way you guys get more of a customizable look rather than a how-to tutorial. Even though this is still a tutorial, you guys can follow along, but make it your own, have fun with it, do what your heart desires. But now we are going to go in and draw random lines on our face. I was trying to figure out where I wanted this one. I didn't know if I wanted it down my neck or if I wanted it on my chin, so we just kind of did right below my ear. And then we're going to do the same stitching that we did in yesterday's video with the clown mask around the mask, making it look like it was taped or stapled on. And then we're going to go in with liquid lipstick. I do this before, so that way it settles and dries before we do the stitching on the mouth. Now we're going to do a nose. If you've ever seen a skeleton, they kind of have like that U-shaped nose. So we're going to do that. You just have to draw a U with one side a little bit longer than the other and make it come all the way down to the bottom of the button of your nose. And this is kind of tricky to get it super pointy, but that's okay. Use a very, very thin brush. That way you get more of a detailed look rather than a sloppy point. I ended up doing a little bit thicker underneath my nose just because I felt like it was a little too thin. I do have a pretty thin nose, but I wanted it to look more open at the bottom. You want to make sure that you get the black in all the crevices when you do the nose. That way when we go in with the black powder, it is all together and mattified, and you don't have those certain areas that aren't with the black paint in the matte finish. Now we're going to go in with the yellow in the 12 color flash palette from Makeup Forever and do little dots. I spaced them out enough so I can do a different color. I wasn't sure what color I wanted to do yet, and since we're going for the yellow orange look, I ended up picking the peach that was in there and doing the spaces that I had in between the yellow. Now we're going to go in and brush away the powder that we did on the eyebrow and kind of put down a little bit of the foundation. That way it's more concealed, and we are going to go in with the white pencil again, and we're going to trace out our eye socket. This is also customizable. You don't have to do your full eye socket. You can actually leave your eyebrow out if you'd prefer. and just do the eye in itself, like your eye lid, and just right underneath your eye. But personally, I wanted it to look more of a actual skull than a natural eyebrow out look. So we're gonna do my natural eye socket. I did drag it down just a little bit and put it on my nose just a little bit, that way it looks more open, which is okay. And after we're done tracing that, we're gonna be taking a flat angled brush and use the black from the 12 color flash palette, and we're just gonna fill that in. Now it is easier to go in with the pencil before you do the black, that way if you have any mess ups or anything, it's easy to wipe away with foundation or with a concealer brush. The black is a little bit hard to get off the face unless you use a makeup wipe, and we don't want to take off any of the makeup that we've already done. So we're just going to easily fill all of that in. Now, another way you can customize it is you can stop right here and actually not fill in the rest with black and just take eyeshadow or another color and do a ombre effect. I didn't do that because I actually wanted it to be all black and mattified, and then I was going to add a little bit of the gold on the outer rim of it. So now we're going to go in with Spooky from the James Charles palette. You know, gotta bring my James Charles palette into every look, but we're going to mattify the entire eye. And then once that is complete, we're going to go in with the white while that sets and retrace the spider web that we did. And like I said, if you don't know how to do a spider web, I would practice on a piece of paper before you do it on your face. That way you don't have to fix any mess ups that you've done. It's pretty simple. You basically just do X's all around to make the full spider web. And for the half, you just do 5 lines, 1 in the middle, 2 diagonal coming out on either side, and then you're going to do small little swoop U's in between the lines, that way they connect when you actually are done doing the spider web. Now we're going to go in and go over the white lines on the face as well and do a little bit of the stitching. I did end up fixing that one white spot that I did with the pencil at first, if you can see. Now we're going to take the same yellow that we did above the brow and kind of do the dots on the end of the spider web to give it more of a Day of the Dead Skull look. If you haven't seen Day of the Dead Skulls, I highly recommend going and looking at them on Pinterest or Google. They're super pretty, but they are very colorful. That's why I added some color onto the spider web, and I also did some small little white dots on the nose in the U area as well as on my upper cheeks next to my eyebrows and the eye. Then I go in with the black once again and start doing the little flower petals around the eye. I used a very thin brush and just did little U's around it, and then we're going to eventually fill that in. This part is very tedious. You want to make sure that they look like U's and not just blobs. You could also just draw little circles and fill them in right away if that's how you prefer. Personally, this is my way. I just did the U's first. I didn't know if I wanted to do the gold first or the black first, so I just went ahead and did the outline of the U's and then went in and filled in the black. After you do that, you aren't going to actually set it with any powder. We're just going to go right in with the gold and conceal any spots that we messed up on. So that's what I did for this. Like I said prior, this look is super customizable. You don't have to do the eye the way that I did the eye. You can easily just leave it as a sunken eye socket look and do an ombre effect with glitter. I've done that before. Sugar skulls are by far one of my favorite looks to do. This time I did want to do the petals though and kind of give it more of a glossy finish at the end. So that's what we're going for. So we're actually going to let the eyes set a little bit before we go in with the gold, and we're going to do the mouth while we're letting that set. Just do the natural crease of the mouth, and then the lips as well. We want to have that black line go all the way through and not just stop at the mouth. We are going for a skull effect, so naturally skulls don't have lips, but we're going to make it glam. So now we're going to go in with the stitching on the outside of the lips. You can just keep it on the outside on your cheeks / chin area, but I actually want to do my lips as well. That way I get that full effect. And this is kind of tricky since lips aren't flat, so you do have to kind of go in a rounded way to do the straight lines, but that's okay. So after we do this is actually probably one of the easiest things, is the stitching, because it's just basically little lines. We're going to go in and go with the gold on the outside of the eye and kind of just do little dots. Instead of the dots, you could also just start with dots and then bring it in so it looks like there's actual petals on your eye. Personally, I just did the dots. I thought it looked good and it kind of matches the whole theme that we're going for. You could also just leave it black. Like I said, this is totally customizable. It's totally up to you. Whatever you'd like, whatever you prefer, go for it. Like I said in my prior videos, mistakes happen. Not everyone's perfect. Not every makeup look is perfect. So do your best. Go for it. Do what makes you happy, and that's how you learn. Practice makes perfect. After I did the gold, I did end up going in with a little bit of the liquid liner that we used earlier to make it look more of a rounded shape, not a blob. So I did have to fix that a little bit. So I did end up doing my eyelashes off camera. If you did attempt any of my looks thus far, please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see all of them. Comment down below for any more ideas that you have for this series. Other than that, guys, this is your finished look. I hope you like it. Have a great night. Bye.